So the NBA is doing an investigation. Adam Silver, who's the new commissioner, he's taking care of this. They are trying to verify whether this tape wasn't doctored. Is there any chance that, given some slight new context, that this changes any of this? I mean, it seems pretty obviously no, right?
We haven't heard that. They're not even claiming that right now. Sterling's people.
No, they're not.
They're claiming.
But everyone keeps saying allegedly, implying that maybe there's a chance that some of this was cut.
I just think they're just being careful.
There's a lot of normal life audio behind a lot of this conversation. You hear her say, you like a glass of orange juice, and then the reason he has a couple pauses in his speech is because he's drinking the juice. It all goes together perfectly.
Yeah, it's not,
again, I'm not a police investigator for audio, but it sounds very valid.
It's fine. So let's talk about what should be done and what we think is going to happen.
Well, first of all, you mentioned Adam Silver, and he's doing the investigation. Obviously, they got due process has to be given because the investigation has to matter. So they have to authenticate the tapes. Everybody's acknowledging that. Michael Jordan, in his appropriate anger, said, document the tape and then bring down the hammer. There's a game Tuesday night at the Staples Center, Game 5 of a 2-2 series. And it's one thing for the Clippers to have had to go up to Golden State there, but now back home, where they're going to be Clipper fans. Some people are not going to come to that game. I'm totally curious whether there'll be a full house or whether there'll be 14,000 or 12,000.
You think there's any chance they don't sell out or people boycott the game?
I don't know. I think there's a chance.
Yeah. There's also going to be a lot of protests around there. There's been permits taken out for protests.
But mostly when Doc Rivers says, who everybody respects, hey, we need people at the game, I think that'll get people to
That's
the
thing.
game.
I think it's all going to happen. There's going to be protests outside. There's going to be people actually speaking out. There's going to be fans that fill the house. I think it's going to be just as full as it would have been.
Yeah, I agree.
Because those fans are going to be there, just like Golden State fans.
It's a great series.
We support our Clippers. We don't support this owner. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
What jerseys do they wear at home? The jerseys say Los Angeles, not Clippers at home, right? I mean,
they wore Los Angeles on the road.
Yeah.
The blue ones say Los Angeles. I think the home ones must say Clippers. Then I don't know.
They might. But I don't know. I think they might not want to wear Clippers.
Right.
But
those are silly little games. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter, although everybody's watching what the players do, and I think that people should back off of the players. They're in an impossible situation. Mm-hmm. They don't have to take any stand at all. Whatever stand they choose to take is good enough.
I want to pose a question. What if on Tuesday night, Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, and the whole team decides we're not going to play? We're not going to play. What would happen? Would TNT televise the game of people standing around, fans booing, some fans cheering? That would be fucking chaos.
Yeah, it would be.
You're dropping a nuclear bomb. That would be amazing if they did that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they should or not, but that would be incredible.
That would force something to happen.
Yeah, what would the NBA do?
Right. Well, look, I agree with what we were talking privately about yesterday. The NBA, they're going to get rid of him. I think at this point they have to get rid of him, and they will figure out a way within the legal construct to get rid of him. Do the players want to take it to that place? I mean, imagine the message if they just, even if they show up as if everything's going to be fine and they walk out onto the court and then they just protest the game. I mean, it would be incredibly powerful. I don't know that it does anything more than just letting the system kind of work itself through.
What's interesting is that if you don't show up, you forfeit the game, and that would give the Warriors the win and a huge advantage in the series. But I suspect that the Warriors would support their protest. I don't know that Mark Jackson, who said he couldn't even work for Donald Sterling, I don't see Mark Jackson being like, yeah, we got Game 5 in LA. That seems unlikely. So I think they could get away with something. To me, Tuesday night,
that's a great point. What if the Warriors and the Clippers show up and they're like, we're just not going to play.
We're not going to play.
We're not going to play. Neither team's going to take the court. That would be fucking awesome.
What I think but to what end? They have to play it eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
Until he's taken care of.
Yeah. Right, but that's why, and that's exactly why the NBA, from everything we've read, and Adam Silver knows, this has to be taken care of by Tuesday. At some point Tuesday, they got to get this done.
Right. They said they're issuing a statement on Tuesday.
So I have a prediction of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Sterling will be suspended, whatever that means. Okay. Indefinitely. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to table this until after the season.
That could be.
And then over the summer, they'll handle it somehow.
Unless, but the reaction to that might be like, that's not good enough. Right. Is he going to be able to keep the team? The problem, in baseball forced Marge Schott to sell the Reds, but baseball has that antitrust exemption. So baseball can do whatever the hell they want. Yeah. Football doesn't have it. Otherwise, football would have done the same thing with Al Davis, and they were very much unable to. And he messed with the NFL for years and years through 2 moves. And basketball doesn't have it. Forcing him to sell, if he goes to court and be like, "Hey, look, I'm a dick, but they can't force me to sell." They can. They will investigate everything they could. They can put pressure on him. They can ban him from games. I suspect they can keep him out of the arena. They can keep him from league meetings. But they can't make him sell the way baseball did with March.
Unless there's some ethics thing, and that's what we were talking about. If there's some clause in there about the good of the league.
Can they kick the Clippers out?
That's a dangerous thing for the league to open up with their owners.
Yeah.
I would say.
Absolutely.
But the other owners are not going to be happy about the league's ability to just kick people out.
Yeah.
But that's the question. Can the league say, all right, that's it. The Clippers, you're done. You're not part of the NBA anymore?
No. I don't see how they can do that. They can't. First of all, he'd sue. He'd get an injunction. He'd stop. It's his team, and he has a right to that. So I think it's going to be. What they can do is put enormous pressure on him. By the way, he bought that team 30 years ago.
For
upfront cash, $3 million. It's worth estimated now, and maybe he wouldn't be able to sell it at. Right now, maybe people could take advantage of him, but I doubt it because I think a lot of people would compete for that team. Estimated right now, $700 million. So
I thought he bought it for 15, but either way.
So he's going to be okay.
But whatever it is,
it's incredible returns.
Yeah, incredible returns.
Well, this is the thing. I think what needs to be, I guess, acknowledged is the big importance of this. And 2 things that I also think should happen is we mentioned other owners. They should speak out. I loved it. I remember I was going through the whole motions over the weekend, and I said, why isn't anyone talking about how white players in this league, the 10 or 15%, whatever the number is, of white players in this league, how outraged they also are, and if they aren't, they should be? Because this isn't an issue of just, this is just a problem with our black players. This is the problem with the league right now. And how many of these friends that probably called them and said, hey, you see your girl from Magic? How many of those guys are owners of whatever sports teams, of any sports? And all these guys exist. This is just letting us know these guys exist. Whenever people say these guys exist, or when players say this is a plantation attitude and people go, oh, race card. This is the reality of what's really happening in our world and our society now. So what these other owners need to do is speak out against it. If they don't, I'm just as mad at them as everyone else is.
You're totally right. And this goes to what happened recently with the hiring of the University of Texas football coach. Mm-hmm. What is his name? The guy from Louisville.
Mac, wasn't it?
Mac Strong.
Oh no, right.
Yeah.
No, Charlie Strong.
Charlie Strong, yeah. So when Charlie Strong was hired, douchebags like Red McCombs said, well, Charlie, he's like, you know what, Charlie's a fine position coach. Mm-hmm. Maybe he might even make a decent coordinator, but he's not head coach material.
At least not here.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? I mean, that is crazy talk. And he's another very, very wealthy, sports owner guy.
These are those guys that we wonder who they are.
Fully, but he did say it.
These are the guys when we wondered who these friends are of his. These are who they are. There's a lot of them. Yeah. And they need to be put on notice that you're not going to get away with this shit behind closed doors. It becomes the point where you say, Donald Sterling fucked up by letting someone catch him saying these things. No, he fucked up by having these feelings.
Well,
these feelings need to be put on blast to the point where you shouldn't have them to yourself anymore.
I thought the other thing they could do, especially when it was yesterday and there were games afterwards, was what if they delayed it by 30 minutes? If both teams just stood there, delayed the broadcast, they would have had to delay every other game. I think everybody would have been a significant stand, and that's still an option.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do, but everybody should get off the Clipper players and Doc Rivers. They are in an impossible situation.
Agreed.
And they get to do whatever the hell they want. And the thing they've worked for all year, I want to say one other thing real quick, because turns out it's a huge, looks like a real progressive, a real Democrat, an old school Democrat, Jeff Van Gundy, who comes out before that game and he's like, win or lose, I want to talk about that. He said there are things more important than winning, and I don't want my players to stand for something more important than winning. He was strong and interesting.
I love Jeff Van Gundy.
I love Jeff Van Gundy.
He's a great coach and he's a great commentator.